All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got music on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody's hands go up.
Hi all, and welcome to Premier League Round 3 Rant Football. We're going to go through the scores of the weekend, and then we're going to go through what me and the others predicted and who won the league this week. Well, the first game of the weekend was a Friday night game, and pretty much we was all a bit shocked by this one, I think. It was Aston Villa versus Everton, and we all thought, well, Villa wouldn't win this. Well, we know nothing, because Villa won 2-0. The Silva in the 21st minute, and I think he is El Gaza in the 95th minute, gave Aston Villa the deserving win of the night. Pretty much what I heard. I didn't watch the game because I was out getting drunk. They were the better team and they deserved the win. So, yep, that was pretty much all we're going to really go into. We're not going to go too in depth. If you want to go in depth and hear more about games, go and listen to the Half and Half Scarves podcast, and they will go better in depth for stuff. I'm just going to make this nice and quick today. I'm a bit of a rush. I'm getting closer to a holiday. I have to rush to work, do more hours, blah, blah, blah. Part of an idiot of a boss. Yeah, anyway, so Saturday's game. Norwich versus Chelsea. Chelsea leaking goals for fun. It's like having a porn star plumber. The job doesn't actually get done. He's meant to be there for. But like the porn star plumber, they made it exciting. Apparently that is so bad. No. So basically, what a game we had here. Norwich City versus Chelsea. Chelsea took the lead in the 3rd minute. Tammy Abraham celebrated like they won the World Cup. I understand some people think he did it because, you know, thank you Frank for putting me in the team and all that, but the players had to keep their head on the game as well, so they've got to be careful with that. And it was right, because 3 minutes after the 6th minute, Cantwell, whatever his name is, scored for Norwich, an easy tap in. Yep, so that wasn't what we wanted. Mason Mount gave Chelsea the lead again. He's turning into a little baller. That's 2 goals in 2 games for him now. Scored and obviously put Chelsea 2-1 up on the 17th minute. Yet again, it didn't last as long as I'd like. 30 minutes, Norwich's informed striker right now, Pukki, scored and made it 2 at half time. Second half, Chelsea kind of controlled the game, I thought, and Tammy Abraham come up with the winner in the 68th minute. So that was the scoreline of that one. The next one was Brighton versus Southampton. So this game was interesting. Pretty much a good game of football. I'm sure there was a wonder goal in this game. I can't remember all the goals off the top of my head right now. I should have watched them before I recorded him. Well, in the 30th minute, Adone got sent off for Brighton, straight red card. And that's it really in the first half. The second half, I can't say his name. Djenepo. Denepo or something like that, scored in the 55th minute. You're going to get used to me being terrible at reading things, by the way. And then Redmond in the 91st minute won it for Southampton 2-0. So pretty much a good result for Southampton there away from home at Brighton. Then we had one of our hard games of the weekend. Man United, because they won the first game of the season against Chelsea 4-0, a scoreline what was decisive if I thought it wasn't a true reflection of the game. Well, anyway, they were playing Crystal Palace today at Old Trafford. I gave a 32-minute lead to Crystal Palace. Man United thought they got a draw out of the game on the 89th minute when James scored. Over-celebrated. Pretty good goal, but they over-celebrated like they'd done it. An ex-Chelsea boy, Van Aanholt, scored in the 93rd minute and gave Crystal Palace a 2-1 the win. What wakes you up, Man United fans? You're not as good as you thought. Yes, your first game was impressive. You were quite good against Wolves, but they pegged you to a 1-1 draw. And I think you've been brought down to earth. I think your defence is shoddy. I still think to this day that Pogba doesn't want to be there. The funny thing is your 2 penalty takers now, Rashford and Pogba, have both missed a penalty each. We're going to do it again. Rashford got racial abuse for missing a penalty. Yeah, again, you racist people, piss off. Anyone can miss a penalty. This is getting proven now by Man United. It seems the whole squad's going to miss them for them. So if you don't like it, piss off out of football. We don't want you racist in it. Obviously, the next game was Sheffield United versus Leicester City. We all knew Leicester was going to win this. We just didn't think it would be as close. Vardy gave a lead in the 38th minute. McBurney got it back to 1-1 in the 62 minutes, and Barnes in the 70th minute gave the win to Leicester City. A good 3 points for Leicester away from home. As I said, they're one of the outside bets for the top 6 this season, so they're a good team to keep an eye for. The next game was Watford, no points, versus West Ham. West Ham have bought well this summer and they haven't played their best so far, so we've all been waiting to see the real West Ham show up. I believe it happened today. It was Mark Noable's game. I think it was something like 250 games for West Ham, so one of the most loyal players in the Premier League to date. Well, it started off well. Mark Noble, 3rd minute penalty for West Ham. Gray got it back to 1-1, and that was half time. But in the second half, Haller stepped up, 64th and 73rd minute, one of his goals being an over a kick. West Ham fans will now be dreaming that he's the greatest on the planet, and he'll probably go and join Monaco or someone next season, or go and live in a caravan, because that's what West Ham players do, boogers. And the last one on the Saturday was the big one. Liverpool versus Arsenal. Now, I thought Arsenal might do better in this, and I forgot Sideshow Bob was in defence. And it's quite funny because Arsenal fans were telling me that it's a great deal from Chelsea for 8 million. I said to him, he's a luxury player. When things are going right, he's great to have in the team, but when you're under the cosh against good teams, he's a luxury, not worth having. He makes too many mistakes, and this was proven. Well, it was close quite early on, and Pepe looks a bloody baller for Arsenal. His shooting skills need to improve, otherwise it could have been a different game. But pretty much 41st minute, Arsenal were under the cosh for about 5-10 minutes from a corner. Matip, 41st minute, header back of the net, 1-0 half time, Liverpool. Second half, totally different game, all Liverpool. I thought Liverpool pretty much gave them a football lesson. So on the 49th minute, David Luiz fouls Salah because he can't handle him. Penalty, Liverpool. Salah scores it. 58th minute, David Luiz is caught out again. Salah's through on goal, 58th minute goal, boom, 3-1, well 3-0 at this point to Liverpool. Torreira does come on, and the 8th minute gets a consolation goal for Arsenal, and the full-time score is 3-1. Arsenal, just like Man United at the beginning of the season, because they won the first 2 games, were showing off. It was Newcastle and Burnley. They needed to calm down. I think Arsenal is still going to be a top 4 team this season, but I think they got overexcited and need to calm down. They need to, like Chelsea, learn how to defend against the big boys. Well, Chelsea needs to learn how to defend against anybody. Sunday, Bournemouth versus Man City. Quite simple. We all knew Man City was going to win this. We just didn't know how many by. Sergio Aguero did actually score twice in this game, and the man Sterling scored again. So what happens? Aguero scores 15th minute. Sterling gives him a 2-0 lead on the 43rd minute. 3 minutes in injury time at half time. I believe Wilson gets Bournemouth a goal back, so half time it's 2-1 and the fight's on. Bournemouth couldn't do it though. Aguero 64th minute, 3-1 Man City full time. The next game, another bottle jumps. Early in the season, I don't expect Tottenham to bottle it. I expect them to roll over teams. But there's something not right there. I don't think Pochettino wants to be there. Eriksen definitely doesn't want to be there. I think there's a couple others who don't want to be there. The hierarchy at the club, something's not right. Anyway, it was Tottenham versus Newcastle. My mate Jermaine went to this. What makes it even funnier, because he was giving it all the larger. They were going to win easy. I thought they were going to win easy, in I thought it'd be 4-0. But it was actually full time 1-0 to Newcastle. Delira, 27th minute, pretty much won the game for Newcastle. No one expected it, especially it being at Tottenham's ground. But hey, Tottenham fans, don't worry about it. You can get beer through the bottom of a pint plastic cup. Fantastic. At least you've got that to celebrate about. Yeah. So full time 1-0 to the Newcastle. And the last game of the weekend was Wolves versus Burnley. Pretty much Burnley got an early lead, and Wolves did look slightly tired for this game, playing Europa League Thursday night. They didn't really make most chances in the game, for most of the game really, and Barnes gave Burnley a lead in the 13th minute. Wasn't until the 97th minute Wolves scored a penalty. Yeah, so that was a 1-1 draw. Wolves did that, and because of that, you're going to see how the league table goes because of that result between me and the three others predicting. So that was the weekend scores. Personally, I thought it was a strange weekend. Again, there was a few weird results going. I still think it's because it's early in the season. There's not, teams are still feeling their way back to fitness. Chelsea are looking great going forward. Still shocking defensive. Need Rudiger back as quick as possible. They miss Kante. Be good to have him back in the team. Nice to see Hudson-Odoi back into training now, so he must be about 3 to 4 weeks away before he's contention for the team. What's a great player to have back. I've seen Ruben Loftus-Cheek now doing a lot more fitness, so he must be maybe 2, maybe 3 months away. So Chelsea's squad will start looking great again soon. Tammy Abraham, the youth, and Mason Mount are proving Frank right to trust in them. The donkeys of the weekend are Man United and Tottenham. You can't choose one. They're both donkeys' arses in my eyes. Big teams who are meant to be fighting for top 4, Champions League for one of them, Europa League for the other. Right now they both look like they couldn't win anything on this weekend. Next weekend it could all turn around. Hopefully Chelsea beat Sheffield United, and Tottenham and Arsenal, I hope they kick the shit out of each other. Personally, two clubs, they're both kind of softies though, so probably nothing could happen. They'll probably just kiss and hug and pat each other's arses. But yeah, so it's been a good weekend. Here's the league table as you can now see it. As you can see, Liverpool are top on 9 points. Then we go to Manchester City on second in 7 points. We've got Arsenal still third though on 6 points. Then we've got Leicester in 4th on 5 points. Man United, Burnley and Tottenham, Brighton, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Everton, Chelsea, West Ham, all on 4 points in the league. Then we go into the bottom pot, very bottom pot. Wolves on 3 points. I thought they'd be doing better, but I think they will still come good. They're on 3 points with Aston Villa and Norwich, Southampton and Newcastle, and Watford with 3 games played, 0 points lost. I'm not really saying all the league positions yet. It's too early. Well, you lucky sods, you don't have to see my ugly mug from here, so this should get quite good for you. So what we're basically seeing is the scores in the Premier League and how we predicted it. So these are Fridays and Saturdays games. Starting with Friday, Aston Villa versus Everton. The full-time score was 2-0. I predicted 0-2 to Everton. Kieren predicted 0-2 to Everton. Simon predicted 1-0 to Aston Villa, so he gets 2 points. Paul scored it as a 0-0. So Phil, Kieren and Paul got 0 points. So let's move on to Saturday's games. Norwich versus Chelsea, full time. It was Norwich 2, Chelsea 3. I predicted 2-0 to Chelsea, I got 2 points. Kieren predicted 2-1 to Norwich, got 0 points. Simon predicted 1-0 to Norwich, got 0 points. Paul predicted 2-1 to Chelsea, so he got 2 points. We move on to the 3 PM games. First one being Brighton versus Southampton. Full-time score was 2-0 to Southampton. I predicted a ball 0-0. I got 0 points. Kieren predicted 2-1 to Brighton. He gets 0 points. Simon predicted 1-0. 0 points. Paul scored it 2-1 to Southampton, so he actually got 2 points for this. The next game was Man United versus Crystal Palace. The final score, Man United 1, Crystal Palace 2, mugs. Well, we all predicted Man United to win, so we all got 0 points. I went 2-0, Kieren went 5-0, Simon went 3-0, and Paul went 3-1. So at least Paul knew Crystal Palace was going to score. Then we move on to Sheffield United versus Leicester City. Full time, it was 2-1 to Leicester City. Everyone got 2 points, barring Paul, because he's stupid on that one. He got it wrong. So I predicted 2-0 to Leicester, 2 points. Kieren predicted 3-0 to Leicester, 2 points. Simon predicted 1-0 to Leicester, 2 points. Paul predicted 2-2, 0 points. The next one was Watford versus West Ham. The full-time score, 3-1 to the Hammers. Well, I predicted 3-1. I got 3 points. Kieren scored it 2-1, so he got 2 points. Simon scored it 1-0 to the Hammers. He got 2 points. Paul scored it 2-1 to Watford. Big fat 0 for him. And the last Saturday game, but the biggest game of the weekend, Liverpool versus Arsenal. 3-1 to the Liverpool. Arsenal brought back down to earth, as I said earlier. Well, I predicted 1-0, 0 points for me. Kieren predicted 4-1, very close to getting 3, but only 2 points. Simon scored it 2-2 and got 0 points. And Paul went 2-1 to Liverpool. He got 2 points. So that's the Saturday scores. So we move on to Sunday's games, where everything was still close between all of us. So the first game was Bournemouth versus Manchester City. We all got 2 points for this. The full-time score was actually Bournemouth 1, Man City 3. But I went for 4-0. Kieren went for 4-0. Simon went for 3-0. And Paul went for 3-0. The next game of the day was Tottenham versus Newcastle. We all got 0 points here because Tottenham decided to do a bottle job early in the season instead of the end. So the score was Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. Well, I went 4-0 Tottenham. Kieren went 3-1 Tottenham. Simon went 4-0 Tottenham. And Paul went 3-1 Tottenham. All miles wrong. The next and last game of the weekend, Wolves versus Burnley. Well, I predicted, it was full-time was 1-1. I predicted 2-0. Kieren predicted 2-0. Simon predicted 2-1. And Paul predicted 2-1. So we all got 0 points. So this is the league table. I'm champion. First place, Phil, 9 points. Now the rest all got the same points, but I've decided to put them in the positions I feel. So Paul finished second on 8 points. Simon finished third because I hated him that he beat me last week and won it. And fourth, Kieren with 8 points as well. Well, fourth because I hate Fulham. So that was the league table. I'm your champion this week. Let's see if I can roll on and do it for a second week in a row.
All I do is win, win.